man, that is a crazy story. He told me before the podcast the story about your grandma. Crazy story, man. And bless her.
Yes.
Many blessings. And I told you this before, but just to say it on the podcast that that was not right. And I, as an American, do not feel good about that. I really don't. There's a lot of things.
It's your fault.
No, it ain't my fault. Don't put that demon on me. It ain't my fault. No.
You're apologizing.
The FBI would have scooped me up for being a hippie first 5 minutes, no doubt. But, it's, did she ever talk about, like, America in any other way?
Never.
Really?
My grandmother was a devout Christian. She's the reason my family and us are all Christians. And nothing, no gossip, no negative anything about anybody.
But not even just negative. I mean, did she say good things?
Well, if it's not negative.
Well, she didn't really speak about America in general outside of just saying in the camps, like, we had a good time, we had crafts, we had softball. She apparently pitched a slow pitch no-hitter once.
Wow.
As a young 21-year-old Asian woman.
Good for her.
She was 5'2" by the time she passed away. So I don't know what it means to pitch a slow pitch no-hitter. I mean, but she did apparently.
A slow pitch.
It's just like a woman's like.
Were the hitters elderly women?
No, I mean they were all men and women, and she somehow struck out.
Like she was on the team, or like this was.
They just had makeshift teams. Japanese makeshift teams. Japanese baseball and softball is a big deal.
Huge.
Yeah.
Oh, so it was like the community team.
It started in the camps, yes.
Hey, we need someone.
Yep.
You gotta have something to do. She said did crafts.
Absolutely, no doubt.
Dances, crafts, softball.
Yeah, my grandma draws.
She sounded like she's a great lady. Must have been awesome to know her.
Yeah, that's a very rare perspective.
Yep.
There's probably not a lot of people that were in the camps like around anymore.
No, it's and like you're saying, it really is like you don't hear about it a lot. You don't hear about it a lot. You don't hear about the experience a lot, and I wouldn't either if it weren't for her.
Yeah.
I mean, it was 1920 or 1940, 41.
Mm-hmm.
So you're thinking those people are in their 80s.
Yeah.
If they were born in 41, they're in their 80s. Mm-hmm. But if they were in the camps, they're
when they could remember
90 to 100 at this point. Wow. So you're talking about a generation dying out.
No doubt.
Yeah.
That is that's a crazy part of history, man, that is definitely overlooked.
Yep.
And I said it to you, they did not put German Americans in camps.
Nope.
I already told you this, but I'm just saying, like, just if you have any thoughts that I consider, and I know that there are still Caucasian people that do have rude thoughts about, or not even just, I think I hear a lot of marginalization of it. Oh, well, that's just, shouldn't have done that. That's what I hear the most regarding from people that are ill-informed or just flat racist is, oh, you shouldn't have done that. And it's like, have a little consideration. And it's good. And that's, I guess, you being firsthand connected with somebody who's there is so valuable. Because it's like, it's easy to, in a book, wipe it away.
Yeah.
But when you know, especially your grandma, it's just, I'm glad that I wanted to reshare this. It's cool that you can, these are cool stories, man.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I don't want to bring up any like,
no.
I'm sorry if I'm getting too much into it.
Not at all. I think it's important though, like you think about whether it's the Japanese in the camps in World War II or the civil rights movements. I mean, there's so many hot button topics in cultures today, but the objective truth is that 1940 and 1965 and things like that with the civil rights movements, it wasn't that long ago, right? There's no agenda here. We're not making political statements or anything like that, but there is an objective truth to those things were still in lifetimes of people alive today. So whether it's, you can't just wash over them, you have to acknowledge that they happened.
Yeah.
No.
Still very recent.
There, a long time ago to me is like the pyramids. You know what I mean?
That is a long time ago. Yes.
Yeah.
But for like 45 years ago, that's not that long. Or 100 years ago, 1945, 40. Then it's crazy. That's when I think about that because I do remember. I'm kind of a World War II geek. It used to be a lot more. But as a young person learning that, and then I learned it, of course, the way that most American kids are propagandized into learning in that it's a paragraph in the book.
All in response of like Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, and half the paragraph is saying, shouldn't have done this and this, Yeah. And then just later finding out, because, you just watch chronological documentaries and the good ones are 45 hours long. So everything gets, and then just learning about the whole situation. And and it being overshadowed, especially by like, how cool war is. The only thing people remember about World War II is like how badass the planes but that is why it's easily, I think, marginalized because it's not.
Yeah.
There's no explosions. There's no cool airplanes, boats. It's just a shitty situation.
Well, and we talked about how honor culture of Asia, particularly the Japanese people. I mean, you see it today. I don't know if you guys are soccer fans, but you watch the last World Cup, the last 2-3 World Cups, the Japanese people, after every match that Japan would play, would stay behind with trash bags in the stands and clean up the stadium.
Absolutely.
And the Japanese players would clean up the locker room out of honor. And so you don't hear about it much, but really what happened, it was the Japanese people would say, well, we weren't in concentration camps, so no big deal.
So, yeah, they compare and say, well, we could have had it this bad, but we didn't, so we consider ourselves lucky.
Yeah, always to minimize like the view on self and just say like, we're lucky. We don't need to talk about us. Other people have it worse. And
I think that's like, for sure, like older generations think that way, but like you're saying, like the Asian culture, like this is horrible of me, but I always refer back to the Mulan. Where he says dishonor on you, dishonor on your
dishonor
family.
Your family. Yep, that's a real thing, though.
Yeah, dishonor on your cow.
Chris Rock. Yeah, that's a real thing.
That's what when you said that earlier, like I shouldn't have went straight to that, but that's what I thought.
Well, we were talking about why stereotypes are stereotypes for a reason.